Hey Terry, you ever have one of those days where just nothing goes right? Where you feel like you went bungee cord jumping without the bungee cord?
Yeah, I've had a lot of those in my life.
Oh, yesterday was one of those days for me, man. From the horse racing, I didn't do a pick four. I did like the anti pick four. I was all prepared because you got off to that good start with the nice long shot on top. And then I was all prepared to open the show and ask you if your back hurt for carrying our ass yesterday. But then unfortunately, we missed on that third leg where it looked like two horses were for sure. And that sneaky five got in there to kind of blow it all up.
Yeah, yep. I was really disappointed. I thought coming in the stretch that either the one or the four were going to win, but then here came that five, and I went, "Oh no, oh no!"
Yeah, what was it? Steinbeck of Mice, the best plans of mice and men. I think that's who wrote that. It's
Yeah,
one of the few things I remember for like my eighth grade English class, but I'm not 100% sure if that's who the author is.
it's
I'm
true.
sure if it's somebody else, it will be corrected for sure on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it ended up being those days where at the end of the day, I kind of did feel like jumping off the bridge without the bungee cord. But thankfully, you go to sleep, you wake up, it's another day, the sun's shining, you pop a few vitamins, and you feel good that today is the day we're going to hit it right out of the
yep,
ballpark. There.
yep. You get to start over every single day. So
Reset, rewind, and get at it again. So that's where we're at today. So since we're in such a good mood, let's talk a little bit about some positive stuff. Most of the time in horse racing, what you hear about is all the negative stuff, right? But
right.
we try to bring positive stories and news because I do want to showcase the good that goes on in our business as well. Here's a story I found very interesting today in my research. Everybody who does NYRA is probably familiar with Andy Sterling, their handicapper over there, an analyst. And he was joking with somebody about playing miniature golf. And I guess they said something about putting $5,000 in for a charity for horses. And it ended up kind of going viral, and they had a foursome, and from it, they collected about $100,000 for the New York-based backstretch organizations. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's great, and I always have seen that the racing folks are very charitable. They're always willing to help a worthy cause, and I was really amazed that they got $100,000
Mm.
for this backstretch organization. So it's just like Ferndale has problems, and they did a GoFundMe account. Ferndale races up in Humboldt County, California, and they've already accumulated around $12,000, and that's to help, pay for the horses to come in and keep their meet going
Mm.
this year. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, everybody we've reached out to, our guests that we have on our shows, the jockeys, the trainers, the personalities on TV, the handicappers, everybody's just been fantastic. And tonight, just a little bit of an announcement. We'll go over it again. Normally, our the Players Edge podcast is at 9:30 Eastern. Today, we will be at 6 p.m. Eastern with NYRA because we're back at Saratoga for the third week in a row. I know it's as much as time as we spent talking about and handicapping and doing podcasts, maybe we should set up camp at Saratoga.
Yeah, it'd be fun, I think. Hey, let's look at it for next year at least.
Mm. Well, we have Acacia Courtney coming on tonight, so that would be a very, I think, special guest. She should be able to follow up with some great insights like last week's on the on the site Maggie Wolfendale did. So that'll be fun like that. So it looks like Tom Carley says they also a huge fund. Maybe we can go do a GoFundMe for my my internet connection, Terry.
And
What was that all about? Did I disappear to you?
Yeah, and you no sound or anything. I thought, oh, did something happen?
There I
with
go
me?
again.
And then I figured, yeah, you're there now.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a little symbol on my computer that shows right now that my internet connection is very low. I don't know why it wanes sometimes. I went out and spent a lot of money on one of those Wi-Fi extenders, and it's bright blue, and it shows that it's got a good signal. But according to my computer screen, that's not the case. So, yeah, it's a good news to see that the people in the industry support the industry. As I was saying, we have Acacia Courtney on tonight's show, so that should be fun. Remember, it starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern. Our next big story of the day is out west with the Santa Anita folks following in the footsteps of Del Mar, where they have essentially a win and ship program. So if you ship in from another state and you have not run at Santa Anita in the last year, you get a $3,000 bonus and a 35% increase in purse earnings. It's been successful for Del Mar. We'll talk a little bit about some of that success, but I've noticed this year, you've probably being on the West Coast and everybody who's out there, there's much larger fields at Del Mar than we've seen in a while.
Absolutely. And it started to work for Santa Anita, and I'm glad to see that Santa Anita is going to continue it. So I think it's really good for California horse racing. I'd like to see Golden Gate come up with the same kind of program if they don't already have one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's big for California racing because, it gives you a chance to see how some of the horses from around the country, and it's just such great racing out there. It's always nice weather. You can pretty much count on, fast track conditions along with firm turf. So it makes, I think, from a handicapper's perspective, a little bit easier to kind of know what kind of surface you're going to get rather than worrying about rain or mud or how long a track is going to dry out, that sort of thing. And that there's a pretty good speed bias out west. So I think it helps a little bit. And I'm also happy to see much larger fields because, you get 5-horse fields with a horse that's that's 4 to 5, that's going to end up going off at 1 to 5. It makes it really hard to bet there.
It does, because if you try to beat the favorite wins most of the time. And if you don't try to beat the favorite, and you bet on it, unless you win, you're not going to make much either way. So it's I like the bigger fields. I like at least 8 to 10 horses in a field, at least that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. I feel like it's important to have bigger fields, and California deserves to have bigger fields. They have great facilities out there, unquestionably. Santa Anita, I've been there once. You've been there. I've not been to Del Mar. Hope to get out there this year for the Breeders' Cup. But I have to say, Santa Anita does live up to the moniker, the world's most beautiful track with the San Gabriel Mountains behind it. It's just really a nice track. So if you haven't been out there, I don't like to talk about bucket lists because that indicates that the end of time is coming. But put it on your to-do list if you're likely to go from track to track.
Yeah, and I've been to Del Mar. That's also a wonderful place to go, and I loved it. So I can't wait to go back this year for Breeders' Cup. So,
Terry got tickets. He went there, so he's going to be there. Hopefully we'll be there with a big event where all the folks from Horse Racing Radar and outside of that, maybe the Triple Crowns will join us at an appearance out there. That's kind of something that we're working on. And one of the ways you might be able to do that appearance is with Terry's best bet. Yesterday, Terry, we might not have done well on the Big Four, but your back might hurt a little bit from carrying us with your best bet of the day yesterday.
Yeah, at Saratoga in the 8th race, I like Bareness, and he won and paid, or she won and paid $9.10 to win, $2.80 to place, and $2.20 to show. And then number 4 Casual ran 3rd, which was my second pick, and number 2 Aunt Cat ran 2nd. And the Exacta paid $7.90, and the Tri paid for 50 cents $8.90. So if you're like me, a lot of times I'll box the 3 horses for say $2, and then I'll take my top pick and put the other 2 second for $10 Exacta ticket for each. So if you'd done that, you'd collected $79 for what about? You'd collect a little more than $79, almost $100. So
not bad.
No, it's not.
Won't pay for your tickets to Del Mar. Yes, Tom. Terry does live out by Golden Gate. You see in the movies like the houses that they use that are on the cliffs over the ocean. That's where Terry lives, in that big ass house. That's why we do the prime rib pick 4s, my friend.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Terry?
It's right. Yeah.
If you open up that curtain behind there, it's the bay and the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yep, you can just about see it from my back window here. So anyway, my pick of the day for today is Saratoga again. It's the 9th race. I like the number 4
Moretti. We'll do
Moretti,
it the Italian way.
I'm not Italian, so I can't say that. But Moretti likes the distance, the track, and has finished 76% of the time the money in his career, winning 31% of the races. He has a great jockey combination, which adds to the many pluses that he has to compete in this race. And then I like number 3, Lone Rock. Has won 6 out of the last 7 races, and his only loss was a second, losing by a mere neck. And I like number 5, a long shot, Sugar Ray 2. Is having a good year, finishing 100% of the time in the money, winning 40% of those races. He has been racing against easier company, but has finished in the money 8 out of the last 9 races. He will be closing from deep and try to pick up the pieces.
So hopefully we can go a nice trifecta there again, back-to-back days, because we've been off this week on our pick fours, Terry. We got today, and then that's it. If we don't get hit today, it's just an over week, and which would be the first time for us. And I hate losing at anything. So one of the things I don't like going a week without hitting one of these pick fours for the folks who are watching us, because, well, a couple of reasons. One, I don't like to look dumb.
Yeah.
But 2, I put a lot of work into trying to figure out who's going to come into these pick fours in first, second, or third in every leg. So, that's another reason. And for me, whether I bet them or I don't bet them, if I've gone out and put my name and my stamp on them, I want them to win the same no matter what.
I agree.
Let's see if we can close out the week with a bang, Terry, at Del Mar. So unlike the first 3 days where if we had hit a pick 4, which we didn't, unfortunately, bungee cord jumping without the bungee cord on the pick 4s there. But had we had hit them, because of the pool size, they didn't really pay out. They didn't really reflect the odds of the horses that won those races. Today, that won't be an issue because we're going to be at Del Mar, where they should have a decent sized pool. And if you hit it, these deep fields, I got a feeling you're going to get paid. Would you agree with that, Terry?
I would, yes. I think this is going to be a great day for a pretty nice pick 4, and I've got a feeling we're going to get it.
One of us is going to get it.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's see. Let's start with the hot dog pick 4. Terry, you almost looks like you wanted to kind of all everything here today.
Yeah, I'll tell you, very competitive races to me, and it was really hard for me to come up with the horses that I wanted to use. So,
well, you came up with enough of them, so
I did. Yeah, I did. I used every bit of that $20. So,
hey, if you got it, spend it, right?
That's right. So let's start out with the first leg, which is race 5 at Del Mar, and I like the number 8 as my top pick. Consider Me Gone. Ran a good race, a good second last race out, and at today's distance. I like the way that Jessica Pfeiffer rides. I think she's very aggressive, and I think she's a rising star. And the trainer has won 25% of all the races he has entered in the last 14 days, 4 out of 12. Then I like number 1, Bossy Soul. Ran a good second last race at the same distance as today's race, despite coming into the stretch 4 wide. She has one of the best speeds at today's distance. And then I like number 2, Morvino. Jockey Kyle Frey came in from Northern California to ride in Southern California, and he's hot right now, winning 23% clip.
Yeah, he's been ripping it up for sure.
He sure has.
And he's wearing those horse racing radar pants. So make sure when you see Kyle Frey out there, look for those horse racing radar pants. Hopefully we see him in the winner's circle.
Absolutely. So anyway, Moravino will be closing from deep, and he just ran 3rd at today's distance. And then I like number 11, Bandina. Has the highest last race speed rating and has the best speed rating at today's distance. And then I like Mama Rama, number 3. Bobbled at the start, but showed improvement last race and now stretches out to a mile. In the next race, the second leg, number 6 race, number 8, Big Claire, moves back to a mile, which is what I think will help her. And Flavian Pratt is in the irons, and he's on fire at Del Mar, winning at 29% clip. Then I like number 3, Nice Ice. She likes the track, distance, and turf, as she's got the best turf speed among today's starters. She has won 2 out of the last 4 races. Then I like number 5, Nina E. Fugo.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, she cuts back in distance and gets jockey Kyle Frey, who is very familiar with her. The last time he rode her, they won. But as a matter of fact, the last 3 times he's rode her, they've won. So, and then I like number 11, Keep Dancing. She finished within a head of winning 3 races in a row. She lost the last race as a favorite, And trainer Kristen Mulehall wins 33% of the races when she brings back a beaten favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the third leg, seventh race, I like Ko Olina, number 8. She's won 2 races in a row and is going for a hat trick. She has the best dirt speed among today's starters. And then I like number 2, At the Spa. She has improved each and every race and now lengthens out by a half furlong after winning her first 2 races easily. Then in the last leg, I like number 3, Algira. Algira checks all the boxes, has the highest race speed rating, ran second versus similar last race, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, best turf speed, is the fastest among today's starter, and has that hot jockey, Flavian Pratt, who has in the last 7 days 29 mounts, 8 wins, 4 seconds, and 6 thirds. So my hot dog pick is starting with the 5th race is the 1, 2, 3, 8, 11, with the 2, 5, 8, 11, with
Then you
the
meant
8,
3, 5, 8, 11 there in race
3,
6.
5, 8, 11, with the 2, 8, with the 3, and it costs $20.
Got that 20 spot out there. All right, for me, you didn't even mention this one very much, but I like the 11 as a single on race number 5. Bandina just missed in her last by a nose with the top last race speed figure, but that's not why I'm on the 11th as a solo here. There was a couple others that I considered that will be in my prime rib pick 4, but when you look underneath at those workouts, by far class in this field. So I think, and they were at Del Mar too, so I expect a big race from the 11. And then the second leg, to me, this is pretty much wide open. It's 1 mile on the turf. It heavily favors closers. So I have nice ice on top. It completely puts the best numbers in this group in terms of speed numbers. It has on the Del Mar surface, 6 races, 2 wins, 2 seconds. I also like number 11 and 7. That is Keep Dancing and Bella D. As I mentioned, it is a course where closing, or at least a distance and surface where closing is the way. These 2 will be the hardest closers at the end. So I would expect that you're going to see 11 and 7 rolling pretty hard. And then Terry's number 8, Big Claire, does have the top jockey, as he mentioned, top pedigree, and has a win and a second and 2 at Del Mar. So for me, it's a wide open race with the 3, 7, and 8 and 11. Race number 7, this is a 2. These are the babies, right? 2-year-olds, Terry, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So anything could happen. They're 5.5 furlongs on the regular dirt track. And so far, 100% of the 8 races have been won by speed. 6 of those 8 horses went wire to wire. Get to the front, you're likely to win this race. The 2 fastest horses, according to my analysis, are number 2 and number 7. That's At the Spa, and It's Simple. Looking a little bit deeper at the post positions, it looks to me like the outside speed has the advantage over the inside speed. So I prefer the 7 over the 2. And then the next 2 fastest horses are number 4, Gianna's Wildcat and Ko Olina. When you look at Gianna Wildcat's workouts, they're perfect almost. So to me, that's the one horse I feel like can upset the 2 speed horses. In race number 8, Terry mentioned Algeria. It is the best horse in this field. It does have the top last race speed figure above par, the only horse in the field that can make that claim. So the only other horse I put in here, it's kind of a long shot. It's number 4, Bender. They paid a ton for this horse, like $575,000. That's walk around money for Terry, but for the rest of us, that's some big dough. Richard Mandela is dropping this horse from a maiden special weight to maiden claiming, which the people who paid $575,000 for that horse are probably thrilled to death about that. But he wins at 20, I think about 26% on that move, and 29% the first time he throws a horse out on maiden claiming. So I think this horse is probably better than it's shown. It looks like it's training pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a long shot there. That's the only. I think this is one of those things you either got to go with the favorite or find some prices and hope one of the prices beats it.
Yep, that's true. I think so.
So I can't wait to see how much more money we spend on the prime rib. Here you go, Terry. I think today was Terry's max out day. Like someone gave him the credit card and he's 18 and he just maxed it out.
Oh yeah, I needed to do that after yesterday. So anyway,
all right. Here's
well,
Terry's max prime rib, baby.
Yeah, let's start with race 5. I'm using the same 5 horses: 1, 2, 3, 8, and 11. And race 6, I'm going to add number 9, Pawnee. Pawnee drops in class and gets the veteran jockey Mike Smith. She has the highest speed rating at today's distance. And then in the 7th race, I'm going to add the 5 and the 7 to the 2 and the 8. The 7 is my top pick that I'm adding. She has good breeding and has the heaviest favorite in her last start, which she won. She has a good workout and preparation for this contest. At Del Mar, she worked 4 furlongs and 47.3 handling from the gate, which was the second best out of 66 workouts that day. And then number 5, Carmen Miranda. She has several good workouts and won her first race after setting just behind the leaders. I think she'll try to do that same thing today. And then I'm going to add in the 8th race the 3 and the 8. The 8 drops into class today and finished 3rd versus Tougher on the dirt in her last race, or his last race, I'm sorry. And then tries the turf today. Has a sharp workout of 1 minute and 3 seconds, 12 out of 55. So anyway, and then let's see, I added the 8 besides that. So
well, that was the 8 horse. So yeah, I think you kind of rounded out your additional horses. Yeah, because the 3 was your single in the hot dog.
Yeah, and so the 3. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Terry.
No, you're right. I only added 1 horse to that race. So.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I singled the 11 in the hot dog. I added the 1. Busy Soul has some of the best early fractions in the field, and this is a distance and surface 1 mile on the main track that has favored speed. So speed's going to win. Busy Soul on the rail might get the job done. Also added the 8 horse Consider Me Gone. As Terry mentioned in his description of why he liked the horse, Jessica Pfeiffer is an aggressive jockey. Been on this horse 3 times, brought the horse home second twice. So maybe she can graduate and get a win on Consider Me Gone. And finally, number 10, Brio is awesome. I got to like anything that's awesome. But he has the best combination of early speed and late speed. So he's going to be pretty close to the front of the pace. And then at the end has the legs to carry it home. I like to see that. Races 6 and 7, I made absolutely no changes. They're as wide open as they can be. In race number 8, a little bit of a caveat here. If number 12, Cool Your Jets, scratches into this race, I'm adding him in. I feel like this is a horse that's going to be near the pace and have some really strong closing and probably the most likely challenger to the 3 if any Cool Your Jets gets in. If not, I'm going to put Gut Carly in, the 10 horse, who should have the best late legs in the field, running flying late. And again, 1 mile on the turf, as I mentioned before, coming home with a lot of pace has been the way to win. Speed has really struggled 1 mile on the turf at Del Mar. So the 10 horse, Get Curly, gets going late, and maybe upsets this field altogether. Just a quick look again at Terry's hot dog pick 4 and my hot dog pick 4. You can see there's some similarities, but yet a lot of difference. And then the prime rib pick 4. So you have a good sense of how deep this field is. Hopefully Terry and I will come home winners to close out the week. I'm not sure if we can win all the way across the board on both of us, but I'm sure there's a path to connect the dots and make that happen. All right, Terry, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, I'm just looking really forward till tonight's podcast that we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the guests that we're going to have. So
again, tonight we're starting a little bit early with Keisha Courtney from Saratoga. She'll be joining us at 6 p.m. Eastern instead of our traditional 9:30 p.m. start. So make sure you put that on your calendar. The best way you can make for that is go down there, hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and when we get cracking, you'll be notified. Tomorrow, Tom and I will be back to discuss some international racing. Should be fun. We got some big races over there. I think I'm not sure if we're doing England or Ireland tomorrow. I forget. So many things swirling around in my head. I forget from day to day. So hopefully, one thing we won't forget is to look how to cash a winner tonight at Del Mar in our pick four. So make sure you join us tonight. We'll be talking about the Whitney this weekend at Saratoga again with Acacia Courtney. That is at 6 p.m. Eastern. Terry, we got to close out this week with a bang, buddy. How you feeling about that?
I'm feeling really good about today's pick fours. Yes, real good.
All right, I'm feeling pretty good about it too. I feel like they put the bungee cord on there today. I'm gonna rebound nicely today. At least that's my hope. And anyhow,
Yeah.
So all right, Terry, I'll see you tonight. We'll be back next Monday, Terry and I, for the Horse Racing Today show, talking about news with our opinions and our picks. Until then, everybody, I'm going to steal from Jay Marco. May all your tickets be winners, and we'll see you in the winner's circle.